All right, so as we're kicking off 2026, the global diamond market is, well, it's sending some seriously mixed signals. You've got some parts of the industry that are absolutely shining, while others are definitely feeling the heat. So, let's get into it.
And that really brings us to the big question, right? Is the diamond market booming or is it busting? The honest answer, it's kind of both. It's really complicated and the details are pretty fascinating.
I mean, just take a look at this snapshot right here. On one hand, you've got strong holiday sales in the US, which is great, but then demand in China is super quiet. And get this, while the price for a standard 1-carat diamond dropped almost 10% last year, gold is hitting all-time highs. It's a total picture of contradictions. So let's dive into our first section here, a market of contrasts. We're going to break down exactly why you can't judge the entire diamond industry by just one headline. It's just not that simple. And this is the most crucial point to get your head around. We're not talking about one single market anymore. We're talking about many different ones all at the same time. To really get what's going on, you have to slice it up by the diamond shape, by its origin, and by who's buying it. That's where the real story is. So first up, let's talk about one of the most surprising trends right now, the new shape of value. Seriously, it's not just about the size and sparkle anymore. The actual physical shape of the diamond is massively changing what people are willing to pay. And check out this clear divide. Demand is absolutely surging for these long, fancy shapes. You know, ovals, marquises, emerald cuts. But at the same time, the classic round diamond and the once super popular princess cut, their demand is pretty weak. Right now, it is all about that elongated look. And get this, a long cushion-cut diamond can fetch a premium of up to 25% over a square one with the exact same weight and quality. I mean, that is a huge price difference, and it's driven purely by what people want to see. You know, it's not just about the shape itself, it's about how well that shape is cut. As this industry insight points out, a perfectly cut oval or marquise is actually really hard to find. So that scarcity for those really high-quality, desirable shapes is what's driving their prices up, even while the rest of the market is getting soft. So this all leads us perfectly to our next point, a tale of two buyers. Because when you look at the world's two biggest diamond markets, the US and China, well, they are heading in completely opposite directions. It's wild. Over in the United States, there's this really fascinating trend taking hold. Independent jewelers are seeing a real shift back to natural diamonds. And the reason? Apparently, some buyers are starting to feel that the really big lab-grown stones, which are becoming more and more common, can look a little, well, inauthentic. Now let's flip that coin completely and look at mainland China. The overall jewelry market there is pretty slow, but inside that market, synthetic, lab-grown diamonds are actually getting more and more popular. It's the exact opposite of the feeling we're seeing in the US. Okay, so we've seen the trends in shapes and tastes, but what does this all actually mean for the price tag? Let's dig into the hard numbers and see the real financial impact of all this. First, a super quick definition, so we're all on the same page. When you see RAPI, that stands for the RapNet Diamond Index. Just think of it like the S&P 500, but for diamond prices. It's the industry benchmark everyone watches. All right, now look at these numbers. This tells such a clear story. The prices for these smaller stones, we're talking half a carat and under, have absolutely plunged, down over 20, even 26%. But then look at the 3-carat stones. They're almost flat, down less than 1%. So the value is holding strong at the very high end, while the lower end is really struggling. And this graph of the 1-carat index makes it, well, crystal clear. You can just see that steady, consistent downward slide right through the last 3 months of 2025. This isn't some sudden crash, it's more like a slow, steady erosion of price in one of the market's most important categories. So, where does all this leave us? Let's pull all these different threads together and talk about what this might mean for the future of sparkle. If there's one big takeaway here, it's that the diamond market is fragmenting. It's not one big, single thing anymore. It's splitting apart along these key lines. By shape, long fancies versus the traditional rounds, by origin, natural versus lab-grown, and by region, with consumers in the US and China wanting totally different things. And all of this leaves us with one final and I think really crucial question. In a market that now has more choices than ever before, from shape to origin to size, what is it that's actually going to define true value in the years to come? Honestly, that is the big question the entire industry is trying to figure out right now.